Peace, family. I pray that you are well and in good spirits. I wanted to share a message as it relates to our children and their education. So I like that if you can tune in till the very end, I have solutions for everyone. And also, please put your active listening ears on. These messages are urgent. I don't want to put any fear or anything into anybody because that's one thing that we should be intentional about eliminating is fear. But I do want you to know that there's a sense of urgency behind these messages. So let's hop right into it. So these are some reasons why we need to stop sending our children to school and what we should do instead. So education is undoubtedly important. We all want our children to be the best that they can be. However, there are many troubling statistics and stories as it relates to our children within the school system, and we no longer will address them. We no longer need to go to these meetings or go to these schools trying to fight the school to be better. Instead, we're just going to take them out and we're going to be our children's educators. And I want to mention real fast that I'm not going to share any statistics with you. I feel as if that's not my job personally. If you need to do additional research, go ahead and do that. However, we don't need a 20-page report saying what's going on in these schools. We all have our stories. We all know what's going on. We see it in the news. We have our personal stories. I myself have stories growing up in school and how it affects you. It really affects us, whether we think it does or not, and we must stop holding on to this school model that doesn't work for us. For our children, it doesn't work for us. It never has, it never will. So with that being said, the first thing I jotted down was the criminalization of our children. Everyone's familiar with, or if you're not, the school to prison pipeline. Look it up. School to prison pipeline. It is real and it's happening all throughout the country. And I like to mention, y'all should really tune into what's going on all throughout the country and how it's the same situation, the same problems everywhere. How is that even possible? It's only possible if it was intentionally designed that way. So, the school to prison pipeline, our children being being suspended starting at kindergarten, and these rates are, of course, the highest amongst our people, and especially our little boys. Not to say, I just saw something about a 6-year-old girl being put in handcuffs. Cops were called on her. They put her in handcuffs and took her away. And don't even ask me for what. And if you thought to say for what, then this message is not for you. So the criminalization of our children is real, and we must stop these little signs that we get in, the teachers or the school officers, whatever, talking to our children like they're in basic training. Even the schools are they're set up to be they look like prisons. They what are they called? The metal detectors and all the officers and police presence. It's absurd. I feel bad for these children. I was walking in my neighborhood recently, and all these police presence were outside of the school, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? What happened? And I asked someone, and they just said, oh no, this is how it is normally when schools are being let out. Who would want to be let out to that? That affects our mind, our mental. So we must understand how this affects us, and we got to take our children out, because it's no longer will we try to fix these systems that don't work for us. Another little side note is I was on a forum, and a mom had asked for some advice what she should do for related to her son, and one mom had mentioned how she should, whatever she does, make sure she goes up to the school with someone else. And it's like, they don't even respect us enough if we go up by ourselves. We got to have a male presence to have them respect us and to have them value what we got to say and fight for our children. That's not acceptable. No longer will we continue to do that. We're going to take our children out and we're going to be our child's first educators. So the second thing I wanted to mention was, so number one was the criminalization of our children. So the second thing I wanted to mention was how the education system is making us dumb. It's making us dumb. It's not allowing us to be as creative as we want to be. It's stunting our curiosity. The tests, all the tests, they cram in all of this useless information into us for us to take this one test that we'll never use. We'll never use this information again. And then we're scored on these tests. Just the whole model doesn't work for us, and we keep trying to figure out how to make it work for our child or see if they need extra tutoring, and it's not that. It's what they're teaching us. How many times have you asked or helped your child with homework and they ask you a simple question and you be like, you know what, you're right, this is stupid. Me trying to teach my children how to read is just like this language. It's not for us. It's not for us. And it's really reducing our intelligence. It's not allowing us to be the best that we can be. It's keeping us inside of this box that our children need to be out. They need to be free. They need to learn what's going on in this world. And they're not even teaching us the things that, I would like to say that I don't believe it's the school's job to do that. But they don't even teach us the things that we need to learn in life. What works for us, stocks and bonds, how to pay bills, how to grow food, although they are incorporated in some schools. But it's just they're the things that we need to learn. They just teach you the basic things, and it's not good for us. And then they're I don't want to keep going on because I don't want to lose too many people. So the last thing I wanted to share with y'all is what we can do instead. So nature is our first teacher. Our mother and father is our first teacher. Our community members, our peers, the child's peers, those are our first teachers. Those are who we should be learning from, who we should be studying with, who we should go to. We should be studying astrology, things like that. The greatest education for our children is the life that we live. It's very simple. So that's why a lot of us need to get our own life together. But we still need to prioritize our child's health. It's not safe for our children to be in these schools. It's not safe on all terms. Whether it be this whole sickness going around, it's just not safe. There's too much stuff going on for us to continue to try to hold on to this school system that's not working, this school model, business model that's not working. But we must understand that it was intentionally designed this way on purpose. It was intentionally designed to keep us just like dummies almost. I'm thinking of just walking dead people almost. It's really designed that way. So some things that we need to do right now is supplement our children's education. If we're not able to take them out of school, if we're not able to bring them outside into nature, we're not able to be our children's first educators, then what we need to do is supplement their education. So there are many websites, just look them up. Udemy, I believe it's pronounced, is one of them. Skillshare, masterclass, look them up and compare prices if you like. But there are many classes that our children should be taking regardless of where they're at. So some of them are film and video making, home electrical wiring, basic electrical system, herbal medicine making classes, carpentry, plumbing, web development. These are all things that they see, they consume on a daily basis that they should be able to know. Solar energy courses, off-grid solar energy course, things like that. Plant plant identification courses, sewing classes, basic survival classes, how to write books. Get your child writing books. Basic land navigation, stocks and bonds, financial literacy, things like that. These are the things that our child should be supplemented with. And those sites that I had mentioned, you can find many classes along those lines, and also additional ones too, that really get your child more involved in their life. Our children are just kind of like tuned out right now, and it's so sad to see them just all consuming this media, whether it's the video games or scrolling, whatever it may be. It's just we really got to get our children to tune into themselves, get them to start writing. The current state of our educational system is so minimal. It's lacking just the greatness of our children. So these are necessary classes that they should be taking to supplement what they're getting at school, if you do still send them to school. But let me know what y'all think. Share some tips with me, or share some of y'all, what are y'all doing, especially with the little ones, because I think what makes it so hard is that we don't have our village. Because it's hard being at home with the children all day. It's not easy. But when they're in an environment that's supported with other adults and other children, look into these homeschool co-ops. There's tons of them. There's lots of resources available online. We just got to look for them. But we also got to continue to build on these relationships that we have, so that one day a mom has the children, or at her space, or we're going on these field trips together. There's many things that we can do to make this work for us, because it is hard. But once we do it together, like we are intended, or like our ancestors did, then we'll be all right. So peace, family. Thank you for hearing me out, and I'll see y'all next time.